When you operate in integrity, people know that they can count on you. People know that your word means something. People want to be around you. I bet you think, I already know what integrity is, but when I really came to understand what it is, my whole life changed. I'm about to share something with you that when you truly understand this, it is mind blowing. It will change your life. It will change the way you show up, who you be, how you do things. You're going to feel a dramatic difference pretty immediately from this one thing. I wonder if you can guess what we're going to talk about today. Welcome to Possibilities with me, Hina Khan. I am a former psychotherapist, peak performance mindset coach now, and I help you create a life you love through ease, joy, and fun. What is it? What is that one thing that if you start to really understand, your whole life will change? And I bet you think you already understand it. When I say what it is, you're going to be like, Hannah, I already know what that is. So I want you to come with an open mind because a closed mind can't accept new ideas. Are you ready for it? Integrity. I bet you think, I already know what integrity is. I know I felt that way. But when I really came to understand what it is, my whole life changed. Not only in understanding it, but embodying it. So what is integrity? Well, many times we think of it as something with a moral component to it. Either you have integrity or you don't. And if you have it, you're good. And if you don't, you're bad. But what if that's not the case? Integrity simply is. It is neutral. And it is a condition of being whole and complete. Let me give you an example. Think of your car. So your car has 4 tires. And let's say one of those tires, it's the passenger rear tire, has a hole in it. And it's slowly leaking air out. And as a result, the car is not functioning properly. With one tire that is slowly leaking air, is the car whole and complete? No, it isn't. Which means that the car, the vehicle, is not in integrity. Now let's take this to your life. There may be some areas in your life where you feel like you are in integrity. You do what you say you're going to do. You're productive, you're effective. And then there's some other areas of your life where you're not. Maybe it's your health. You don't keep your promises to yourself in that area. If we look at this from the lens of the whole, a holistic view, you're not in integrity if there are areas in your life where you are not keeping your promises to yourself, where you are not honoring your word. I did a podcast episode earlier on this. It's called BMW, Being My Word. And that's what I want you to consider when it comes to integrity. That integrity is neutral, and it is about honoring your word. Either you did or you didn't. It's not good. It's not bad. It just is. Either you did or you didn't. And remember when we were talking about the car and the air in the tire? Well, when we are not whole and complete, we are experiencing energetic leaks, and we are not operating in a peak state in that case. So I want to talk about what is honoring your word. Because let's face it, life is going to life. We may make a commitment to somebody, and then something comes up, or a situation happens, and we can no longer keep that commitment. And sometimes people get really stressed out because they feel like honoring their word or being their word means they can never change their mind. And that's not the case. Things do come up. When you're honoring your word, you're honoring your word. So honoring your word is cleaning it up immediately, getting into communication with the parties that this will affect, and getting into communication immediately. Not putting it off because you don't want to disappoint somebody by letting them know that you're not going to come to that event. Not putting it off because you're afraid of what this person will think of you. Not putting it off because you just don't want to be uncomfortable. Being in integrity is honoring your word, which means that if something changes, you get into communication about it immediately. You clean it up. And this is how you stop having energetic leaks. Because when you do it immediately, it is not on your mind that, oh, that's something I have to do later. And then we wait and wait and wait, as if letting the person know the day before is going to be better for some reason. So cleaning it up is an important part of honoring your word if you're not able to do it. Do the thing that you said you were going to do. Now, when you operate in integrity, people know that they can count on you. People know that your word means something. People want to be around you because you make it easy. And I don't mean that you make it easy from a people-pleasing point of view. You make it easy because they don't have to second guess. They don't have to wonder. Let me give you an example. If you and I were to make a date to go out for lunch, and it was 2 weeks away, so a lot can happen in 2 weeks, you would never have to wonder in those 2 weeks if I'm going to be there or not. You would not have to send me an email or a text saying, are we still on? How many of us do that? Are we still on? Are we still on for next week? Are we still on for tomorrow? Or did anything come up? You wouldn't have to do that with me. If I said we are going to be having lunch together, I'm showing up. I'm going to be there. Now, if something did happen that was unavoidable and I had to change plans, I would get into communication with you right away, which means that you still wouldn't have to wonder, which means that if you have not heard from me 1 week before, we're still on. If you haven't heard from me from the day before, we are still on. Are you getting this? We're talking here about a way of being in the world in integrity. Now think about this in your own life. Really, do you honor your word? Do you keep your promises? Do you keep your promises to yourself? Are you reliable? Are you whole and complete? An exercise that I did with my clients was we looked at 7 areas in their life, from their professional life to their intimate relationships to their finances. And I had them rate on a scale of 1 to 10 on how they were doing, how they felt in that area of their life, and what was in the way. What was the justification that they were using? So, for example, in intimate relationships, maybe it was a 6 or a 7, and that has to do with the fact that they never really stick to date nights, right? So the date nights aren't really happening. And maybe the justification for that is they've got young children, or they are one of the partners is doing shift work. So there's a reason that it's not happening. There's a justification. So they wrote down what the score was and the justification for it. And our goal is, what I desire for them and for you, is to have a 10 out of 10 life everywhere. The 10 out of 10 life that you desire. But with this exercise, what it could show us is, what is it that we are saying we are committed to? And what are our actions showing us that we are committed to? And that will show us where we are out of integrity. It will also show us what is it that became more important than our word. I can think about this Again, with date nights. When Paul and I were struggling to get date night in the calendar, well, it could get into the calendar, but we still weren't doing it necessarily. And then we had to look and say, well, what was it that was more important than our relationship? We're tired. Didn't feel like it. Felt like effort. End of the week. And that's okay. It's not about judging ourselves, but then we could look at, okay, so what could make it easier? Maybe it's not a date night. Maybe it's a date day. Maybe it's a day date. Maybe it's lunch. It doesn't have to be a Friday night or a Saturday night. Maybe because the kids are at certain ages and stages that actually a lunch is better, or a brunch or something like that. So this is something that you can think of in your own life. And I want you to think of what would change. Because remember I said to you that when you get this, your whole life changes. Like, it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing because you have so much energy now, because you're not avoiding things. You are not wondering yourself if you're going to keep your word. You complete on things. So there's no energetic leaks. You're completing on things. If there are things that are not finished, communication that's not finished, you're completing it. So imagine if you were doing that, what would change in your life truly? How would you be showing up? What would the opportunities be? Can I share more with you? I think about some of the work that I do in TV, and I'm often asked to be a guest on many different shows. And I'm thinking of one in particular, and the producers love to work with me. They love working with me. It's not only because of my ability to deliver information in a way that connects with the viewers and the hosts. It's not only that, but it's the stuff that happens before I hit the set. It's when they are asking for notes, when I know I'm going to be on a show and we've got the topic, I do my notes pretty much right away and send it to them. Now, they may not get back to me till closer to the date, but from my perspective, it is done earlier, and they love that. They love how I show up ready. They love that I'm on time. They're not wondering if I'm going to be on time. I mean, we're talking about live television here, right? Like, it makes a difference. There was one time where I was going to be a few minutes late. I would still make it on time for the segment, and I communicated it right away. And there was some traffic and some construction that I wasn't aware of. So because of this, because of the way that I operate and I show up and my attitude and being in integrity, they're not wondering if I'm going to show up. They're not wondering if I'm going to get my notes to them in a timely manner. They always want me back on the show. I'm easy to work with. And again, easy is not about people pleasing. It's not that I'm easy to work with because I'm people pleasing or letting people, run all over my boundaries or anything like that. I simply do what I'm going to do. And I deliver the notes early because that feels easy for me. I don't have a leak. I don't have something on my mind. Oh, I've got to do this. I've got to get this to them. So integrity can get tied into, how do you produce results? Are you producing your results in a stressful way because you wait till the last minute, or you've got so much cleanup to do because you've said yes to this thing and yes to that thing, and now you're double booked? You've got all of these things on your mind. So when I talk about peak performance and mindset coaching, and I work on this with my clients, it's about becoming and being this type of person who is whole and complete, who is in integrity, who honors their word. And when we slip, which we do, we clean it up. We get into communication. I want you to imagine that you now do this, and I want to know what would change in your life. Think about your professional life. Bring it to mind right now. What would change if you honored your word in that area? Think about your family, your health. What would change if what you said you were committed to matched the actions of somebody that was committed to that? Can you see how this could truly transform a person's life? What you're going to notice now is when you are not in integrity, and also when others are not in integrity, and when they are, and when you are. So look at all the areas of your life and look at what would it take to be whole and complete in each area. What would it take to not have energetic leaks? Who would you need to be? It's not about being good or bad. There's no righteousness here. There's no moral component. Integrity is the condition of being whole and complete. It is honoring your word, and either you are or you are not. That is it. So that is my take on integrity and what I've learned about it. I hope that you have found it really illuminating and impactful. And if you have, will you do me a favor? Send me a note even on Instagram or leave a comment, rate, review, do all of the things, because when you do that, it affects the algorithm and allows us to reach more people. I also personally love to hear from you. I want to hear what your takeaways are. I want to hear if you're applying this. If you've had an aha moment, I want to know about it. I want to be all up in your business. And until next time, we'll see you here on Possibilities.